Hey everybody, MarikoOkuri here, and welcome to my newest Let's Play, MegaMan X Command Mission. Now this is one game I've been dying to do a video on. Not because it's just only Mega Man, which pretty much that would be the reason for all my Mega Man Let's Plays, just Mega Man alone. But mostly because of how this game is different from, you know, something new for the Mega Man series. It's basically Mega Man if he was in an RPG. There have been some games that are technically RPGs, as in the Battle Network series and the Star Force series. But I mostly want to point out that I wanted to play this game because this legitly is like pretty much an actual Let's Play, like the Let's Plays of say Mario RPG or Final Fantasy. Basically has a turn system and special attacks and regular attacks, equipment and such. I really wanted to get my hands on this game for a long time, and after a while, I finally got my hands on a copy. And while I did technically play through it a little bit, I'm still a little bit out of the know for this game. As in, I don't know every single thing about this game. I haven't even officially, at least for myself, completed it. Yeah, I've only made it through, I believe, if I remember correctly from looking up on the Mega Man homepage, that I'm only like around almost halfway through the game. I could be wrong though, but I really wanted to do this Let's Play for a long time because it's, for one, it's just another opportunity for me to do another Mega Man Let's Play. And why did reset? I pressed start. I really wanted to get into this game because what I've played so far, it's actually pretty fun. So I hope that, like, I hope you guys enjoy it a lot, because this is one game. Think of it like kind of like a Chogo Conroy Let's Play, where he mostly reviews, or not reviews, does Let's Plays on games that either have a bad rap, are not known very well, or very overlooked. Mega Man Command Mission X, or Mega Man X Command Mission, is one of those games where not a lot of people remember it that much, mostly because it was the one and only RPG Mega Man game, as well as one of the Mega Man X games that came out during the GameCube and PlayStation 2 era. And during that time, you know, Mega Man X7 and X8 came out. While X8 I do enjoy, Mega Man X7 pretty much kind of threw the series overboard and pretty much made him, gave him a life preserver that's just only barely reaching above water. So Search Party's gonna have trouble trying to look for him. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this game. And also, just pointing this out, I am aware that I haven't been posting videos lately. I'm entirely alone in the house, so I'm trying to use this time wisely. I'm probably not even going to scrap this recording if I mess up something, because I really want to get at least one episode done, so I can post it like maybe sometime in 2015 in January, at least to start off the year. I don't know for sure yet, but I'm hoping for that time. But anyways, enough talk. Let's just get into the game.
Your mission is to infiltrate Giga City and halt the activities of Epsilon's organization, the Rebellion. I'm afraid the team that went in before you has likely perished. You are our final hope. If you fail this mission, then we will have no choice but to launch an indiscriminate assault on Giga City. The whereabouts of Epsilon are unknown. But we're getting an energy reading from a certain area of ruins. Survey the ruins first.
Nobody to greet us, eh?
Just as I expected. The radio's useless.
I can't believe they sent only the 3 of us to infiltrate this huge island. I mean, we're good, but I don't know if we're that good.
A large force would be cumbersome.
Keep things small and sleek, huh?
I'm no great hunter like you two. But believe me, I know this island's layout.
Well, we're in your hands, Shadow.
Okay, let's move. I know the perfect place for a hideout.
Are you two okay?
X, use those stairs. We'll meet up top.
This could be a trap. Be careful.
Finders keepers for any goodies.
Chapter 1. Infiltrate Giga City. Sorry if I cough throughout this video. I just finished lunch, so I got some stuff probably stuck in my throat. I'm trying to drink some water to wash it down so that way I can get a clear voice. Yeah. Anyways, we can't transmit to headquarters, but we can communicate to each other. If something happens, I'll be sure to contact you. Be careful. And now we finally get to control X. And right off the bat, you can see one difference, besides, you know, the game being an RPG, is also X's armor. I still haven't figured out what the reason for the armor is. If I remember correctly, I think they were planning to just basically give X a new model for this game, just only for this game only. You know, give him more of an RPG hero kind of feel, especially with this energy scarf thing. So we now to get on to our first fight against a, let's see, oops. It's been a while since I've played this. Where is? I guess I can't open the menu. Oh, that was over.
I did it!
Get our Zenny. We level up. Well, not really leveled up, but we gain experience. Alright, so anyways, I guess this is a good time to start describing this, since it's technically part 0. If we open up the menu, we can see that we have lots of options here. The first option is the sub-tank. Basically, this game's healing spell. Throughout the game, you will find little tiny yellow crystals or blue crystals, and you have to dash into them to open them up, instead of having to either press a button to open them or break them open. Well, technically you're still breaking them open, but you're dashing into them. The way they work is that there are 2 sub-tanks right on the bottom. They're labeled as 2 squares, and when they're empty, they're black, but they're filled up with yellow when they gain energy. Depending on the percentage that you have for your sub-tanks, you can choose from a variety of different options. You can either use 100% of your sub-tank to give your whole team max health, or use only 20% of it to give yourself 25 health back. It's a very useful... This is a very cool way of using health, or at least healing, and where you have to choose what amount you want to regain, instead of having, because in most RPGs you would either level up your healing spell, and then you wouldn't be able to, like, you know, choose if you want to do less or do more. At least as far as I know. But I do like this, especially if you can just only give one character full health or give the whole entire team full health. Next up is the items. This is mostly where you will find all your items. They're organized in items, main weapons, sub-weapons, which we'll get into, force metal, another thing we'll get into, and key items. Next is equip weapons, where basically it's just the same. It's just as it's called. Basically, where you can equip yourself with weapons. So far we don't have anything to replace right now, but I guess this is a good time to explain the stats. On the upper left-hand corner, you can see X's level is only 1. His hyper is 6, which I'll explain when we get into battle. And the LE, or basically life energy, is well, your life. The WE meter, or the weapon energy meter, is basically your special attack gauge. Unlike most RPGs where you need to either use an item to regain weapon energy, or not weapon energy, but special energy or whatever, in this game it automatically fills up throughout the rounds. After a turn ends, your character regains, I believe, 10% weapon energy, and it can max out to 100. That little line inside the weapon energy meter tells you how much weapon energy you're going to regain after a round. Next up is your power, armor, speed, and shield. Power basically is your attack. Armor is your is basically your special defense, mostly, or yeah, your special defense. Shield is kind of a weird one. I believe it's your defense. Or no, I think armor is your defense, and shield is your special defense, as well as your just like in some RPGs, you can there's a defend option, and I'm guessing the shield determines depending on how much shield you have, determines how much damage you'll ignore. And your speed is basically how fast you'll move in battle. Basically, if your turn will be sooner or later, depending on the level of speed that you have. Sub-weapons. Sub-weapons are basically little extra weapons that you can use weapon energy to use. Basically, depending on how much weapon energy it uses, for the micro missiles it's only 10. Will do extra damage on your turn. You can use your main weapon, but that'll use up a turn. Where micro missiles, or basically sub-weapons, you can fire for extra damage or for extra effects. It's basically like giving you weapons that don't use up or don't need a turn, that you can add on top of your main weapon if you choose to. Status, basically the same thing, but in here you'll find elemental defense. In this case, everyone's pretty much, I think everyone, including Zero and Shadow, all have 100 defense against 100% defense against fire, water, and thunder. This also tells you when's your next level up, which is pretty soon. And the FM slots, we'll get into that when we start gaining force medals. Options, formation, basically, which order you want to go in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. What's next is that okay, no. If you press the X button, you'll pull up a map. And to be honest, I really don't like this map. It kind of looks a little confusing. I mean, it does look simple, like as in you are in this room, but when you start entering other rooms, the map starts getting very weird. Like, simply, yeah, we just went through there, but when we start going up to different levels, it starts stacking the rooms on top of each other, which makes it kind of... think of the map from the Subspace Emissary from Smash Brothers. That basically gives you an idea of how... except think of it like in 3D, and they stack on top of each other. Not really that much fun there. But at least they give you a basic map in the corner that shows you... the whole entire layout of the room. Alright, so... gotta stop pressing that. Nothing, the only buttons you have, besides the remove button, is the, that's the menu button. Is the dash button, which is the B button. That's what I want to press. Also, just like regular RPGs, there is, random encounters instead of, enemies on the screen that you run into to start a battle. Alright, so in the battles we have X's meter on the side, which displays his weapon energy and his life energy, as well as his current weapon energy is at a medium 50%. as you can see on the bottom right, you'll see a row of meters, basically an X meter and an enemy 1 meter. This basically determines what level of or when your next turn is going to be. Currently it's X's turn, but this is where it gets a little bit strange. Depending on the speed of enemies and depending on what attacks you use on enemies, turn order can change, as well as these meters also determine your health, basically giving you a current idea of what the health of certain characters are on. For example, I'm going to use a micro missile, which uses 10% of my weapon energy. You can see that the meter starts going down for enemy 1. So this is a good way to keep an eye on the... instead of having to scan the enemy to see how much health it has left, you actually have a meter that tells you how much. Except for when it comes to boss fights do not show a meter that shows how much health it has. It's just a basic static image that just stands there in the slot for its turn. Alright. And then we're going to use a regular attack, and he's not dead. Alright. Now it reduced my shield down. But as you can see, now my turn is now his turn is over. I regained some weapon energy, and now I'm up to 55%. What's next is that if you go in the menu, you can choose to go in defense, but you can also press the Z button on the GameCube controller to go into defense mode. Since there's no real backfire to this move, if you go into hyper mode, yeah, every character has a hyper mode. Depending on what their hyper mode number is, in this case, X was 6 on the status screen. You can basically use a special special mode or special form in battles. In this case, X has X Fire, which basically makes all his moves fire-based, as well as pretty much gives him a huge beef up. As you can see, his health is now 751, and he now has 2 new sub-weapons, Power Charge and Shell Buster. Power Charge basically powers up your regular attack, and Shell Buster basically reduces, I believe, the shield of an enemy. But it looks like it didn't work on this one. But it still does a pretty good amount of health. As usual, you also get a special attack, or at least a new main attack when in forms. Now the cool thing about hyper modes is that you can use them all the time. Basically, in every single fight, even with a very basic enemy, you can pretty much use it in every single fight, and you can use it again in the next fight. There's no need to like recharge it or having to have any, or it doesn't have any side effects or backfiring situations or anything like that. Pretty much, it gives you the ability to use a super overpowered form in every single fight. The only drawback to it is that as soon as your hyper mode is finished, you cannot use it for the rest of the turn. But seeing as the hyper mode pretty much gives you a huge power boost, it doesn't really seem that bad. Right here is your save spot or save point. Yes, we're gonna make some save data there. And there we go. Scenario 1, which is basically our chapter. We're in the Lagrano. I should have paid attention to that opening cutscene. The Lagrano. I'm just gonna call it different names. The Lagrano Ruins. Our playtime and our level. Alright, so now we can get out. Alright, as you see, these are the crystals I was talking about. In order to open them up, you just dash into them. Blue ones usually contain either items or money. Mostly money. Alright, if we go over here. Lagrano Lab Security Control Terminal. Disable security in area first floor west. Or area 1 floor west. Area 1 floor west security disabled. X, did you operate something there? Yeah, I found and activated what seems to be a security terminal. It says that some lock was disabled. Did anything happen on your end? So that's how it works. X, the door that you unlocked is the door that to the place in West Block where Shadow and I are. I can't read. The system is structured so that the door in West Block can only be controlled from East Block. Where are you? Or where you are. The door in East Block can only be controlled by us here in West Block. In other words, X and I just have to control the terminals for each other. Teamwork is vital if we're going to get through this. Don't be late, X. Alright, so now we open the door for Zero and Shadow. Yeah, there we go, we got built LE. If I remember correctly, that just basically is basically a recovery item, like a potion or such. Or no, 10 plus increases to... build life energy basically increases your health, or maximum life energy. I think I'm gonna save that for the future. I don't know I don't remember exactly what character I usually use it for, but I'm pretty sure it's for a character that has very low health. Anyways, this time we're now facing two. I forgot the name of these guys. I know the enemies from the classic series are the batons. All right. As you can see, you can also choose which enemy you want. And this is really good strategy that you can use to basically choose which enemy you want to take on first, so that way you can either beat the next enemy or the previous enemy to the punch and prevent them from having their turn. In this case, it doesn't look like even if I killed either one of them, the other one's still going to get me. So I think what I'm going to do is use the action command.
Shot!
If you press the R button, you get to use your basically action move. Depending on how much weapon energy you have, you get to use a very special attack that pretty much does a lot of damage or does a special move. In this case, X's action trigger is the charge shot. All you have to do is just basically hold on to the A button until you reach how much energy you want to use. In this case, I usually just use the whole entire meter.
Now! Yeah!
There we go.
I did it.
Basically, charge shot just pretty much shoots every enemy on screen. It's really powerful if you can get get it up to 100%. And we just leveled up. Alright, so let's start dashing all the way up to the top. X, do you read me? Go to the middle floor. I have a feeling you'll find something there. And I'm just going to let you guys know that this video is going to be long, because I really want to get through this introduction stage, or at least like till the boss form. That's probably where I'm going to cut it off. I just want to get through all this explanation and all that. Okay, one quick thing. Yellow crystals basically contain sub-tank energy. If you destroy them and you have a full sub-tank, do not worry. As soon as you leave the room and come back, it will respawn so you can pick it up again. I don't believe it respawns after you officially take it up, but if you pick it up when you have full energy, it will return. Anyways, Ultra Mobile Bobcat Reploid, Wild Django. FM Force Metal Modification System production process all green. Rollout OK. Computational humanoid Reploid, Dr. Psychic. FM Modification System production process all green. Rollout OK. Over here we got the same thing. Reinforced Light Armor Aerial Reploid. Magjetra. Same thing. All green. Okay. I believe that's all of them. Did I miss one? No, I think I did. Yeah, I missed one, but I did get to read it. X, how'd it go? So there was one there also? These must be the Reploid production pods Zero mentioned. There are 4 pods here. They all finished production. The Reploids have already left the pods. Shoot, I knew it. There are 4 pods on my side too. Of course, all the customizations was finished. This is my first detail with you, and I'm not optimistic about the future. We're not getting anywhere with this. We gotta check the upper floor. The doors have been destroyed, so there's no need to unlock them. I unlocked the doors on your side, so now we both should be able to proceed. time to head up to the upper floor. Here we go. Super heavy cannon Reploid, Silverhorn. Same, all systems go, and all green. So yeah, now we basically found one of the returning modes, or not modes, returning things from. I don't want to say cliche. That's the one word I want to use. The returning cliche of 4 Mavericks, or not 4, 8 Mavericks, or 8 bosses basically. All right. So as you saw at the introduction while I was talking, was basically X teleporting in. I don't know exactly how it works yet. I'm still trying to look that up. But basically, at some points you will, at occasions, have the ability to basically get the first attack on an opponent or like sneak up on them, which is kind of hard to do when you don't really see them on the field. So let me just that missed. Also, another thing to note is that as soon as you use an attack on an enemy, you cannot switch enemies. So that means even if I use a micro missile on that that enemy, and then wanted to use it on the other, it's not possible. You have to attack the enemy that you just attacked. So there's no switching enemies or targeting when you attack one. All right. Since I'm pretty sure we're okay. See, you can see how this kind of looks. I mean, it's kind of readable, but for me, it's kind of hard to just follow along with it. Anyways, since there's some sub-tank energy there, I think I'll just use up a little bit so that way I can make some space. There we go. Because we're probably not going to be returning here for a while. Anti-lock. There's different types of status effects in this game as well. That we're going to have items to use to recover it. Anyways. Security breach detected in area. I don't know if this was a mistake or if this is actually intentional. Security breach detected in area 2F west, or second floor west. Let's get into the next fight. This time we got 3 of them. Oh, I now remember their names. They're Bat Bones. That's what they are. Bat Bones, they don't really do much. All they do is just observe, and until you either attack one of them, that's when they start to attack. I want to use up a full charge shot, so I'm just going to go in defense real quick. Pretty sure if you don't attack them, they don't do anything. Oh, but that also brings up a good point. Whenever you use defense, the amount of weapon energy that you regain is significantly less. So
Charge shot!
It's basically your choice to either get more weapon energy by just attacking and taking on damage, or defending and just getting a little bit.
I did it!